You know, folks have been jokingly saying to me, who ordered this weather? Well, I'll take full responsibility for that. To be really honest with you, this morning on my way down to Salem for a meeting, it wasn't raining. And I said, well, we have a tent for this event. You know, a little rain wouldn't hurt. But I probably should have put more emphasis on the word little. It's really wonderful to have all of you here with us this afternoon. And I'm really, this is a very important occasion that we're celebrating today. And I'd like to begin by taking a few moments to acknowledge some special guests and some very special people. First, I'd like to introduce Dr. Preston Pulliam, the District President for Portland Community College. Dr. Pulliams. Director Callie Ladd, Thorne Ladd, who is our newest board member and represents this district. Director Ladd, please stand. And of course, we have members of our design and construction team present here today. If you would stand. And certainly, last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge the Cascade campus faculty, staff, and students, and all of the friends from the neighborhood who are here with us today. Again, this is for all of us. This is for all of us who are here. This is for all of us who are yet to become a part of this great institution. So give yourselves a round of applause. We didn't get here by chance. It took a lot of work to get to where we are today. And I'd like to recognize the organizations or the groups that have worked so diligently to get us to where we are. I'll begin with the Cascade Campus Executive Bond Committee. I want to thank you. Just hold your applause and I'll finish this list and we'll give them all a big round of applause. I'd like to thank the Cascade Campus Bond Strategic Work Group, the Cascade Campus Bond Advisory Committee, the Groundbreaking Committee. The Groundbreaking Committee put this program on today and they picked a good day for it, so thank you very much. And once again, thanks to all of you. And if I didn't mention your name and you feel like you should be thanked, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. This is a really exciting time and we're embarking on a new era for this campus. We're here today not just to break ground for the new underground parking facility, which, by the way, will be the only underground parking facility at any community college campus in the state of Oregon, and probably very few across this nation. So that in itself is very exciting. But we're also here, thank you ma'am, thank you very much. But we're also here today to break ground on the major project, which will actually culminate with two new buildings to add to our campus, a new student center building and a new academic building. And I must say that this construction program is not starting 1 minute too late. In fact, our enrollment has grown exponentially. In fact, we have grown by 71% in headcount since 2005 to a record-breaking headcount of 24,079 students is what we experienced the year just ended. So that is really a milestone and we're very pleased about that. But it's not all about growth. It's also about making sure that this campus remains on the cutting edge when it comes to having a 21st century learning facility. And that's important to us too. This new space will help us to serve more students, of course, but it will also help us to serve them better. And this in turn will help us to realize, and I don't think this is Governor Kit Harper's goal alone, and the goal is to become a more educated Oregon. I think that's the goal of all of us. And that's what this will help us to do. But beyond that, these buildings, indeed, the new Cascade campus will represent a wonderful collaboration between the campus and the community. We've reached a point wherein we're not just talking about the mere coexistence of the community and the campus and the community. We're now talking about how together we will prosper and grow as partners. And so that's a really big deal for the campus and for the community, and we should be very proud of the work. The community advised us during this process, and we're thankful for that. The community told us what they wanted to see or would like to see, but they also told us what they didn't want to see. And one of the things they didn't want to see, they won't be able to see unless they go underground to see it, and so that's a really big deal, and that's the new underground parking facility. I'd also like to mention that during the process we had a number of meetings with the Community Bond Advisory Group, and I'd like to recognize that group now. For all of you who participated on the Community Bond Advisory Group, many thanks to you for your work. We could not be where we are today had it not been for the many nights that you worked with us day in and day out, and I do see some of the members present. Those of you who were on that committee who are present now, would you please stand or raise your hand and be recognized? Let's give them a round of applause. So I'll stop here because I know it's cold and it's wet, and this time I'd like to introduce you to once again, or should I say present to you, the District President, Dr. Preston Pulliams. Dr. Pulliams.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's always fun to come to campus for this type of program and work with Dr. Gatewood. Now, Dr. Gatewood wrote the remarks for the program today. He was very good about that. I just want to note that his remarks were 2 pages and mine was 1 sentence. Thank you very much for coming out. That's it. I'm getting applause for that. Let me just be very brief. I do want to recognize some real key players in this, certainly the community in terms of engaging with us. This is a partnership. That's what it's all about in terms of this effort. But I do want to recognize the vision and the push and the ideas in terms of this program leadership provided by Dr. Algie Gatewood. Would you please give our campus president here a great applause. Also representing us in terms of head of our leadership of our bond program, our outstanding bond manager, Linda Degman. Stand up, Linda, stand up. Get some credit for all this hard work. Our other partner is here, Mr. Drinkward from Hoffman Construction. Wayne, please stand up and give him a round of applause in terms of his work with us on this tremendous project. Let me just say this is about, overall, it's not about buildings, but it's really about opportunity. It's about providing access to higher education for members of this community, but throughout our entire service region. That's what this all represents for me. We are looking forward to the construction and the building of the facilities, but in the end, the legacy is, what are we providing opportunities for in terms of the community? That's what this represents for me. So it's a great legacy to have at PCC. This is just part of it as we move to give individuals more and more opportunities for a better life. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. I do want to also recognize a member of our board of directors who's here. Ms. Kelly Ladd, stand up, be recognized again. I will mention her. She's newly appointed to our board. Are you standing? Oh, there you are. All right, give her a round of applause. She represents the board who really, this was their vision in terms of let's expand the facilities and the reach of this college. And they voted in some pretty tough times about having a bond campaign to raise individuals' taxes when it was not a popular thing to do. So I want to acknowledge the board and their leadership. And Kelly is new on the board, so she wasn't part of that vote, but she's always reminded us of how important it is to serve this community. So again, thank you for Kelly for coming out.
So I guess it's very appropriate that I introduce you to you now, Director Kali Thornlad, who is the newest member of the Portland Community College Board of Directors, and she's going to make some remarks. Dr. Director?
Not a doctor yet. Thank you. It's a privilege and honor to serve this district, this part of PCC. This is an exciting time to have the groundbreaking, and my understanding is that this has been a huge endeavor that has required a lot of collaboration from people both inside PCC as well as external stakeholders and community members. and it's very indicative of what we've seen going on at PCC Cascade from the beginning. We are now going to have a parking facility that really listened to the community when they said they didn't want a big structure, and they are using because they had to excavate the ground already, they decided, why don't we dig under and build a parking structure there. So it's very exciting to see that we can meet our needs as well as meet the demands and expectations of community members. PCC Cascade, as you all know, is a very integral part of the community. There are many things happening at PCC that support the community. Things like the Jefferson Middle College program that is supporting students and increasing access to post-secondary. The community safety collaboration that's taking place, largely because of Dr. Gatewood's leadership. And then just educating and training people that live and work and breathe in this community. So it's with great excitement that I'm here today, and I look forward to wearing the hard hat and breaking ground here in a moment. And with that, I will pass it back to Dr. Gatewood.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Ladd. Is our student president present?
Yeah.
I didn't see you. All right. So it is throughout this process, the students have been very engaged in the planning and helping us to understand better what students need. And so it is really a pleasure for me to introduce to you Ms. Esther Forbrin, who is the president of the ASPCC, and that's the Associated Students of Portland Community College Student Association here at this campus. Esther, please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you, President Gatewood. Your leadership is an inspiration. Hi, everyone. I'm excited about what this construction means for PCC students. These new buildings, especially the Student Center, will increase our ability to foster student success. It will be the home of the Associated Students of Portland Community College, the Multicultural Center, and the Women's Resource Center. In it, you're going to find everyone from the Billiards Club, Native Nations, the Sustainable Living Club, our Queer Club, and our Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, and so many more student associations. We'll have space to host workshops, movie nights, and study jams, and the vote drive. This fall, our student leaders registered over 4,000 students to vote. So thank you, Amy Stevens, for all your hard work, our Director of Legislative Affairs. This on-campus community support really makes a difference to students. We know that engaged students are more able to achieve their goals and go on to build better lives for themselves, to enrich their communities and contribute to the social and economic vibrancy of our region. What these new buildings mean is that being a student at PCC Cascade has never looked better. So thank you everyone for your diligent planning. President Gatewood, thank you. Kendi Ezery, Rebecca Ocken, Linda Reiser, anyone who sat on these bond committees. And thank you to all of the ASPCC alum who got us to this point. I know there are countless hours behind this project. And I also want to thank the architects. You've done a really phenomenal job. These spaces are elegant, they're functional and sustainable, and they will serve students for years to come. So thank you all so much. Appreciate the hard work.
Okay, thank you, President Forbin. Thank you very much. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you a individual who has been an integral part of developing the plans or the designs for the new building and the new campus expansion. And I should also add that it's been a real pleasure to work with this man, Mr. Will Dan, principal with THA Architecture. Will, please come forward.
Thank you, Algie. Our job as architects is to understand your vision and your aspirations, to understand how you do what you do and how that might change in the future. With input from many, many faculty, staff, and students over many meetings, we've really developed an understanding of that, and we add inspiration and incredible hard work to come to visualize and conceive of what this project can be. Now, it's hard to go from concept to reality for most people, so I'm going to help you out a little bit by trying to paint you a bit of a picture of what it's like, okay? So imagine that you're a student, because as a student, that's the center of everything we're talking about. imagine also, and this is a little harder, that it's a beautiful sunny day, because it's sunny in all of our dreams here in Portland. Now, crossing onto this site, you'll pass the opening doors of the cafe, and you can smell the coffee as you come by, and you step into the plaza. And seated on the benches and the platforms and under the flowering trees are students who are studying, and they're talking, and they're eating their lunches. And you remember being here just a couple of days before on the weekend for a community market, and you join the crowd as they watch a saxophone player playing on one of the band platforms. You turn to the new Student Center building, and it's a composition of planes of wood and glass and brick. The brick evoking the brick of the main campus. The wood is kind of a reminder that this is a residential neighborhood we're in. It's not a static composition. It's not a formal composition. It's dynamic, and it's warm, and it's inviting. You look into the entrance, the two-story entrance, and you see it seems to be lit from within. And you walk into that entrance, and your eye is drawn up to the blue sky that you can see up through the building that draws you upstairs to the lounge for ASPCC. You bound up the stairs, maybe two at a time, or you take the elevator, and you hope to connect with a friend about an event you're planning together. But when you get there, you realize that the lounge has been commandeered by this friend. They're planning a community cleanup of Peninsula Park that weekend, and there are no more meeting rooms because all the meeting rooms are full with people like you, getting out the vote and preparing for the next election. So with that, you turn your attention back through the lobby, and you look out over the plaza, and you see the new academic building, and it reminds you that you want to go and talk to your professor about the last quiz or exam that you took. So down the stairs you go, you walk across the plaza, and as you're walking across, you can hear children. And you peek into the playground, and you see your cousin's 4-year-old child who's squealing with delight and playing and running around. And since you're the first person in your family to go to college, you hope that she will follow in your footsteps. You look up at the new academic building, and you see it shares that same pattern of glass and wood and brick of the Student Center, but the glass has a layer of sunscreens on it. And that reminds you with pride that this building is 60% more efficient than building another building by code. And that satisfies your sense of being sustainable and being responsible. So you enter the two-story lobby, and you can see all the way through to Jessup Street. And on your right, you see the Center for Careers in Education. And you see a friend in there and wave to her. She's just absolutely possessed with the idea of becoming a teacher. And she's there to do that. You head upstairs, and you're welcomed into the faculty offices by your professor. And after you have that conversation, you walk down the corridor together and go into the light-filled classroom. Now, these experiences are why we are here. To extend access to education, to increase access to education, and provide technology-rich new classrooms. To make spaces that are comfortable to be in, and pleasant and commodious and work well. To become a part of this neighborhood, to be a better part of this neighborhood, to be a resource for this neighborhood. And lastly, to do all of that while building on the commitment to sustainability that PCC has, the students have, and this neighborhood has. We are deeply grateful to be working on the PCC Cascade campus with you all. And I want to acknowledge and thank some of the people I've been working with, led by Becca Cavell, our management principal, and our design principal, Corey Martin. We're joined by some of the staff. Nick Smith, Sean Glad, and Ashley Kroger are here representing the office. The rest are busy working on another set of drawings for Hoffman Construction that is due tomorrow. We're also joined in this effort by Carol Mayer Reed, landscape architects, ABHT, structural engineers, GLUMAC, mechanical, plumbing, electrical engineers, and HPR civil engineers, and a myriad of other really important consultants. And everybody who's a part of that can raise their hand and be acknowledged. So thank you for this opportunity. There's really nothing more important that we can do as design professionals, and we're honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Thank you very much. You're quite a storyteller, too, by the way. I was about to take my coat off, but I had the coffee and the sunshine and all of that. So this guy tells a great story, and he can draw a great building, but he can't build anything. And that takes us to our next speaker, Mr. Wayne Drinkward, who is president of Hoffman Construction, who will actually come in and give life to the drawings that Will has so eloquently prepared. So, Wayne, please come forward.
I didn't know Dr. Gatewood knew so much about architects, but that's wonderful. And by the way, we need the drawings tomorrow. But part of what I want to just say is, as the builders here, is we've heard a lot about the community and collaboration and what this project means. And what we want to do through the construction process is not only not screw that up, but enhance it as we go forward, because it's a difficult process. And we're going to do that in a number of ways. The first is to be a good neighbor here. And that means as we set up the projects and are working in a neighborhood, we recognize that this can be a real inconvenience, and we want to be out talking to people, letting them know what's going on, not surprising anyone, and being very respectful of everyone around. Now, if you have a complaint, Jacob, would you stand up? Don't call me, call him. He'll be right here. Secondly, what we've been asked to do is really, and what we really enjoy doing is to not only build a building, but to help build the community, both in a business sense and a workforce sense. And in the sense of the businesses, we're going to be utilizing a lot of smaller businesses, local businesses here in the community, and helping them to get through the tough time in the economy, to put this bond money to work at every level. For the first time, we're going to be having a general contractor partner here, Pacific Mark Construction. Mark, would you get up? He'll be working with us on a number of this, and we're looking forward to both what he has to bring to us, and we're going to try and bump him up a little bit. I also want to say that in terms of apprenticeship and workforce, this will be a project that really reaches out and brings people in. We need to build a younger industry for the future, and that's very consistent with the mission of PCC. And then finally, when you look at the buildings themselves, a lot of the people that work for us, particularly in the trades and in really putting the work together, have either supplemented their skills or developed them here at PCC. And we're looking forward to that being another part of a much stronger community, a much stronger industry, and a real chance to amplify the value out of this. So I want to thank you all very much, and we'll look forward to those drawings.
So thank you very much. So Wayne, thank you. And I should add one other thing about Wayne. He's quite a golfer. And had I known he was as good as he was, I wouldn't have played with him. And I'm glad I played with him. I'm glad I played with him after we made the selection of the general contractor. Overall, though, he is a really great guy. I do want to recognize a friend of mine who is present here today, and that's Bernie Foster, sitting on the front row. Bernie, thank you for being here, man. Thank you so much. He is the owner of the Scanner newspaper. So now we've come to the time where we're almost to conclude, but we have to finalize this program with a very ceremonial type of thing here. And I'm going to ask Dr. Pulliams, Director Callie Thornlad, and President Forbin, Esther Forbin, President of the Student Association, to join me, and we're going to go to work. We are going to shovel the dirt, and that's what a groundbreaking is all about. Now, once we've shoveled the dirt, this program will have concluded. And you remember the refreshments that Will was talking about? Well, we have those ready for you in the cafeteria, so I hope you will join us in the cafeteria for some refreshments. Thanks so much for being here, but please, you have to witness the shoveling of the dirt or the job is not done. Each have a shovel. So, Abe, what's the protocol on the count of 3? Oh, please. There you go. So on the count of 3, we will take a shovel of dirt, and this will mark the true beginning of this major construction program here at Cascade campus. Count 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much. Thank you. One of the wonderful things about this expansion is, we're keeping step in terms of making the campus a 21st century learning environment, a learning institution. Also, the groundbreaking emphasizes the beginning of the construction of the first underground parking facility in the state of Oregon at a community college campus. So we'll add 2 new buildings, a student center building and an academic building, underground parking facility, and a lot of other amenities to go with this wonderful campus. Thank you so very much.